that job yourself.
Yeah.
You went after it.
Yeah.
Joan, remember, jobs were hard to get, and things were, already the railroad, he was only getting 2 calls out a year. So he's looking for something, more permanent.
That's all I would have got if I'd stayed with him.
Yeah.
So anyway, he hired me, gave me a job, and that was the set salary. And there was insurance and everything in it. And,
now he was a man he was a wealthy man.
well, not exactly wealthy, I wouldn't say, but he had a lot of influence. He had a few chips, all right, but a lot
So
of
he was an influential man in the Calgary area.
Right. And,
So that when dignitaries came to the province, he entertained them.
oh yes, I drove people from all over the world.
Who were some of the ones you drove?
Well, I drove the Prince of Wales. I drove the King of Siam. I drove Lord Rosebery from England. And another fellow by the name of Newton. He wasn't such a big shot, but he was pretty well known. I think he was a kind of an educational director of some sort.
Now these are people that
just come through there as a visit, and his car was always at their disposal.
So then in that process of driving these people, and as a driver you would take them and show them around the sites of the Rockies and western Alberta.
Winston Churchill was one of them.
What year was this?
1930.
1930 Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
And he had a position. What was his position then, Dad?
Chancellor of the Exchequer. And
before he was Prime Minister.
Yeah. You see, I always had to have the car clean, full of gas. I never knew when I was going, when or where. So I was told to be at the CPR station at a certain time, this certain day, and that's all I knew. So who walks out of the station but Winston Churchill? Well, I knew who he was, but didn't know anything about him. I was quite young. I wasn't interested in politics or...
Well, he wasn't really an international figure yet, so
Not yet,
he would have been really well known.
There was he and his son, Randolph, his son, and their valet, and Winston's brother, the Major, which was a very disgusting kind of a man to meet.
In what way?
Well, he was the Major. He was the Major.
Very important.
Everybody else was, if they weren't majors, of course I was just a major driver, I guess. I didn't mean
Well,
anything.
typical Army, where he was. He was,
Anyway,
was somewhere.
they got in the car, and a fella come around to me and handed me a note. You're supposed to be at Turner Valley at a certain time. You're supposed to be at the EP Ranch at a certain time. The dinner will be ready. And so on and so on.
And EP is...
It was the EP Ranch.
That was Prince of Wales Ranch.
This is Prince Edward,
Prince Edward.
That became King of England for a short while.
He had a ranch
Oh,
there in Alberta.
yeah, beautiful big place.
So that was a place, a destination that you would take to visit.
A destination, yeah. And then after we got through with that episode, we come back to Calgary. And they went in their private car, and I guess they changed their duds and come back out. And by this time I had the car full and ready to go again. And we went to Banff and Lake Louise and clean around that loop. And we were 7 days.
Now, along the trip, you would stop when there was a beautiful sight, and what would Mr. Churchill do then? Would you get out and walk around, or what would?
Oh yeah, he'd get out. Yeah, he'd get out and walk around and observe. I suppose he'd take a mental picture of things. So when he went home, he would do some painting. I said, well,
Did you see him paint a picture?
Oh yes,
What?
Well,
did he watercolor, or what was?
Oil. No, it wasn't water. It was oil. And one day we went out to Emerald Lake, and he had all his stuff with him. and we got a boat, and I rowed him across Emerald Lake.
Oh, destiny in your hands. The destiny of the world in Daddy's hands.
Daddy can't.
You can't swim.
He can swim. The beauty of those mountains, it's breathtaking though. And here he's a painter, remember, too.
And he set up all his regalia over there, and was pointing as it were, you know. And he would had his little bottle with him, and he would take a sip, you know, and then he'd make a few more strokes and size the situation up, and this kept on going on for about 3 hours. And then when he got all his sketches, he didn't detail them, he just sketched them. And then he, by this time, he had the bottle empty. Of course, there was only a wee bit in when he started. And he had a big long cigar, of course. He'd take a couple of puffs and a swig and a stroke and another puff and a swig. And
I think it's good he wasn't rowing the boat himself.
he saved these cords. And I thought to myself, now, little fella, you just shut your mouth and you listen and watch to see what he does with these cords. So he got his little pocket knife out of his vest pocket, and he was slicing these cords. So he put a picture down, put a cork down each corner, another picture, another cork, another picture, another cork, and then he'd drive a nail right down through the corner. And that was to keep them apart.
They weren't dry yet. They were just oil sketches.
Yeah, you see, I guess he got that idea from the old bricklayers. They say, what do you put the mortar between the bricks for? To hold them together? No, to hold them apart.
One of those paintings are in the Meter House in London, England, but we didn't have time
I saw
to
a
see
picture
it.
on television of him. Now, just a minute. On the way to Banff, it was quite a hot, sunny, shiny day. And we got to Banff, he went into White's store and bought a 10-gallon hat. So we'd be driving along, and we'd come to a real sunny spot. He'd take off this little wee brimmed hat he had and lay it down on the seat and put on the big one. And vice versa. When we come to a shady spot, he'd take the big one off and put the little one on.
Now tell me, were you in a touring car then?
Yeah.
Was it an open car?
Oh, yeah, it's a big Lincoln.
Okay.
Yeah, a big Lincoln car, 7-passenger car, beautiful thing to drive. We got about 5 miles per gallon with it. And it kept me busy.
It was only 5 cents a gallon, no?
Well, I think it was 35 cents.
Oh, probably.
35 cents a gallon, I forget. Anyway, I drove him for 7 days, and when I left him, his private car was parked at Lake Louise. So I took him to the Lake Louise.
His rail car, you mean?
Yeah, rail car. And the major says, when you park the car, driver, Winston would like to have a chat with you. Thank you. So I parked the car and I got to the room. And, well, driver, we had a beautiful time. It was beautiful. You done a good job, driver. Thank you, Mr. Churchill. So he gave me this cigarette case and $25, and he paid all the car expenses. Of course, all the people in the hotel knew me, and they gave me the bills. Gave me all the bills. Winston would paid the ticket, and I took the bills and the change back to.
Open it up.
Back to.
That's sterling silver with gold mountings.
Now why don't open this for us? And there's a monogram on it. Did he take this out of his own pocket, or was this a gift he bought for
He
you?
had it in his hand when I went up to the room.
We presume it was his. It had Egyptian cigarettes in it.
Where's the monogram? Just hold it towards the camera, kind of.
Under the light.
Could we just maybe put?
Yeah.
Okay, just a minute.
And it certainly has a W. I don't know whether it is his.
Anyway,
Well, it doesn't have Dad's monogram.
Hold it up, the light,
No,
straight up and down, John.
It's WC, which is Winston Churchill.
There's
Okay.
WC on there.
Now hold